Hey, it's Meatball.
And Mark.
And this is the Rocker Morning Show on demand from 107.7 RKR.
Kalamazoo's Rock Station 107.7 RKR. It is the Rocker Morning Show with Meatball.
And Mark Frankhouse.
What's up, man? How are you?
Good. How you feeling?
I feel wonderful.
You sound like you feel wonderful.
I had the best time at Oberon Day yesterday, or as a lot of people came to know it as Line Fest.
Line Fest. Been there.
I think Bell's may have officially outgrown their space for Oberon Day. It was still a ton of fun. We sacrificed some people every once in a while to go stand in the line for an hour to get like 8 beers for everybody, you know. Mm-hmm. But it was a great time. You and I popped by there for a little while. We saw some people. You had to bounce, so I was like, all right, cool. You know, I'll find a ride. Awesome. My ride ended up getting busy with something else and wasn't able to come by.
Oh, shoot.
So I was like, well, all right. This is one of those moments of you just live by the seat of your pants and see where the excitement takes you. And the excitement took me all the way to Texas Corners. The wrong side of town from where I live.
Oh, my gosh. You messaged me and you're like, I guess I'm going to our boss's house. I'm like, okay. Now let's discuss how you're going to be here in the morning.
And, and she was like, well, I can pick you up and take you to work. And I was like, at 5 a.m.? And she goes, oh.
Yeah.
No, it was a ton of fun. We saw some great people, some friends that I haven't seen, since last Oberon Day, which was great. Let's see, which one of the Oberons did you have? You had the
vanilla one. Yeah, I just end the classic.
Okay.
But yeah, I was like starving, and I was like, I can't wait in any of these lines. Like, I'm never gonna get food. And then all of a sudden, one of our other coworkers' husband shows up with just double stacked with the pork sammies, and I was like, oh, bro.
They were like hoarding pork sandwiches in their pockets. It was amazing. And then after that, after you left, we went and got some more, and we ended up just stuffing our pockets full of brats. We had pocket brats for the rest of the day, which was great. No, the varieties are pretty good. I was okay with the shandies, the ones that I had. I think I had the cherry limeade one, which was fine. The lemonade one was okay. Honestly, I think the winner of the day was the strawberries and cream.
Really? I didn't get to taste that one, unfortunately.
That's the one that I think everyone was just like, oh. It really did taste like a strawberry puree in an Oberon.
Man.
It was dangerous because it was just like, oh, so good. To the point that I may have had 3 or 4 or 5 of them, as well as other Oberon varieties. Now we walked across.
Oh, man.
We were like, okay, we're tired of waiting in lines. We're going to go across the street to Old Dog Tavern. And then we walked over there, and within like 30 seconds, I made like 12 new friends, which was great. And then I had a shot. I don't know how long we were in that bar. Maybe 15 minutes. Maybe. And then we walked outside, and they were like, hey, our ride's here. And I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I guess I'm going with you guys. And I hopped in the ride share, and we were across town. I was like, okay. This morning was almost very interesting, Mark.
Well, yeah, I had to wake you up at the start of the show.
But I am prepared.
You're here.
I am prepared for the rest of the day. Look at this. I have instead of coffee today, I'm drinking Pedialyte.
Wow.
Yeah.
Welcome to your 40s, people.
We're not there yet, Mark.
Shots. Pedialyte.
Kalamazoo's Rock Station 107.7 RKR. It is the Rocker Morning Show with Meatball.
And Mark Frankhouse.
You spent much time up in Howell? You ever been up there?
Howell? Yeah. Quite a bit, actually.
Okay. Have you ever been up there for the Melon Festival?
I have actually played the Melon Fest.
You have?
Yeah.
Okay.
I played there, I think, 3 or 4 years in a row, I think.
Okay.
So,
all right.
My old band up there. So, yeah, Melon Fest is a lot of fun.
Okay. So you're familiar with the Howell Melon Fest then a little bit.
Very much.
Do you know the history of the Howell Melon?
I do not, actually.
So the Howell melon is a unique melon. It's not like a musk melon. It's not a cantaloupe or a watermelon or anything. It is its own unique thing. The legend goes that a hobo passing through the town gave a greenhouse owner a mysterious handful of seeds which produced the perfect melon, thus creating the iconic Howell melon. One place described the melon flavor as a muskmelon variety of cantaloupe known for its giant size and sweet, juicy flesh. So it's like, my understanding is the size of a watermelon, but it kind of tastes like a muskmelon cantaloupe hybrid type of thing.
Right.
So thanks to that hobo for, dropping seeds, I guess. I don't know. There's one thing they do, though, that's very special with the melon, and I'm very intrigued by this. When you were playing the Melon Fest, did you try the melon ice cream?
I did not. I was a little busy at the time, and unfortunately was not able to try the ice cream.
So the ice cream is something that they make very special every year. The guy who makes it, he's the only one with the recipe. George, I'm going to butcher his last name. I'm so sorry. Spagnuolo? He has a secret recipe, long-standing history of making this ice cream once a year for the festival, and that's it. Now, I am not a big, I don't eat a lot of, grapefruit. I don't even really like watermelon that much.
Yeah.
There's some of that's a texture thing for me. But put it in ice cream form, I'm down for that, man.
Oh, yeah. Same with green tea ice cream.
Oh,
that stuff's the best.
Oh, yeah. And the photo, we've got this over on the Rocker app, too. The photo of the ice cream just looks like the homemade stuff. You did the hand crank stuff, when you were a kid with the rock salt and the, I don't even remember what the ingredients are that you put in the ice cream maker,
right.
But you do the crank thing, the biggest thing in the world. When my grandfather got his electric ice cream maker that had a motor in it instead of a hand crank, that was the greatest thing ever.
I'm surprised the dude hasn't patented this and sold it in mass, because it sounds really good.
I mean, he might make enough that one day to just cover everything for the year.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
not a bad idea. Man, now I'm going to have to take a trip back up to Melon Fest.
The annual 64th annual Howell Melon Fest is taking place in August. They just announced kind of the details recently.
Yeah.
So we got a handful of months before we can get there. August 16th through the 18th. So 3 days of Melon Fest up in Howell, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a pretty good time, man. You've never been up to Howell for Melon Fest. It's a good time.
All right. Well,
I just got to get some of that ice cream this time.
Yeah. It's a good reason to go see some melons up in Howell.
It's time to turn up your dials and tune out the traffic, because we're playing the Daily 5 on the Rocker Morning Show. Testing the mental magnitude of your favorite morning monkeys on the radio. And now, your hosts for the Daily 5, Meatball and Mark Frank House.
It is the Daily 5 where Mark and I ask each other questions. The other one answers. Today, Mark is asking the questions. I am answering, and I got our good friend Keith on the line to help me out. Good morning, Keith. How are you?
I'm good. Really good.
Awesome, Keith. You got to help Meatball get 3 out of 5 questions correct. If you do, he will take the 2-0 lead for the week so far, because I was gone yesterday.
That's true.
Actually, we were both gone yesterday.
No, I was still here. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, we were both gone yesterday. Never mind.
Yeah.
Meatball will take the 1-0 lead for the week. He almost got me on that one.
No, I was definitely here yesterday.
Yeah, me too. Okay, question number 1. Food.
All right.
What is the smallest fruit in size? Is it the wedding grape, the watermeal, or the cucamelon? They are all real things. Wedding grape, watermeal, or cucamelon?
I've only heard of a wedding grape, Keith. I know they're small. I know the wedding grape is very small. The other two I have literally never heard of.
They're mainly for decoration, but they're actually pretty good. If they're fresh, they're actually pretty good.
Just a handful of hundreds of them?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
What are you thinking, Keith?
Well, if you've heard of it, then probably that's not the smallest one.
That's true.
So what were the other two?
Watermeal or the cucamelon? Gotta get an answer.
I would go with the watermeal. I think something like that might grow in water. It's really small.
Okay, yeah, I like that idea. Let's go with it. Watermeal final answer.
Yep,
oh my gosh, yeah!
It is 0.7 to 1.5 millimeters.
Oh my gosh.
It is freaking tiny.
Oh.
All right.
I sure hope that fruit doesn't have seeds. That'll take up most of it.
Right. Sports is question number 2. What sport is the focus of the movie Youngblood? Is it hockey, boxing, or cricket?
Oh, I don't think I've seen that movie. Youngblood. Can you tell me who stars in it?
No.
Dang it.
So we got to come up with a really good guess on that one.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to. Give me the 3 sports again.
Hockey, boxing, or cricket?
Youngblood. I could see Youngblood being a nickname in boxing, Keith. What do you think?
Actually, I was thinking maybe because there's so many youth leagues, it could be a child hockey league type of thing.
Ooh,
I would go with hockey.
Okay. All right, Keith, you bailed me on the first one. We're going to go with hockey. We're going to go with Keith on this one. Hockey, final answer.
Keith, you're not using Wikipedia, are you?
No.
No.
All right, it is hockey. All right. Let's go science. Question number 3.
Thermodynamics.
Which planet in the solar system has moons named after characters from Shakespeare's plays? Is it Saturn, Jupiter, or Uranus?
So, I'm pretty certain it's not Jupiter, because there's a tale about the satellite that we sent to Jupiter in Greek mythology, whatever. The satellite is named after the god Jupiter's wife, who went to go check on Jupiter because all the moons are named after Jupiter's mistresses. So I thought that was pretty funny. I don't think it's Jupiter.
Saturn, Jupiter, or Uranus?
I would guess Jupiter because it has a lot of moons.
Yeah, I think there's too much Greek mythology around it, though. Oh, man. What's your gut telling you there, Keith? Is it 80% or 90, or what are we talking here?
Oh, it's not even 50%. But.
All right, we got some wiggle room, Keith. I'm gonna test the waters here. Uranus is popping out to me because Mark knows it's my favorite planet. Mark knows it's my favorite planet. I'm gonna say Uranus. Final answer.
It is Uranus. Final answer. And Meatball, you get the point for the day. And Keith, you get Sweetwater's Donuts, my friend.
Okay, I'm going to get an Oberon donut with that.
Oh,
all
my
right.
gosh.
Hey, congratulations, Keith.
Thank you.
Kalamazoo's Rock Station 107.7 RKR. It is the Rock Morning Show with Meatball.
And Mark Frankhouse.
Unfortunately, there's another restaurant closing in Kalamazoo. This one downtown. And what sucks is I got in there a couple of times for some drinks, and they really had some good drinks. Jungle Bird is now, they're listing themselves as temporarily closed. There's a little bit of some confusion and drama, I think, with this one. Because the way I found out was through a Reddit post from what I'm assuming is one of the employees or former employees of Jungle Bird. The concept basically of the whole gist of the Reddit post, which you can read in full now over on the Rocker app, and at WRKR.com. Staff were told that the concept had failed and that they would be shutting their doors as new owners take over and the restaurant is rebranded. They were told that during the evening dinner rush on Sunday.
Oh,
so it was like,
very
hey,
nice.
Enjoy your last shift. We're closing after tonight. Given no notice whatsoever. And again, this is according to the Redditor, on the page, which sucks. There's some other stuff out there. And I'm not going to dip into that, but I will say this. I know there's been several different chefs. I know there's been several different menu changes over there. And what's funny is every person I've talked to that went in there said they actually, mostly enjoyed it.
yeah.
There were some there's always going to be comments of people saying, oh, well, it was like this. And, well, you just suck. You Karen, deal with it. But yeah, it's kind of a shock that, they just closed their doors really, really suddenly. And that sucks because all the employees are now basically without work. Just boom. It's all right. You don't have a job.
Yeah. I'm not one to speculate because when a place closes abruptly and suddenly, that's very odd to me, but that says that there's a lot of things going on internally that I'm not privy to, and I'm not going to start, controversy or speculation because that's not my place. But it is unfortunate for the employees that work there who found out apparently short notice.
Yeah. I mean, like, how do you motivate yourself if your boss comes to you and be like, hey, by the way, you're going to be fired after this shift? Like, how do you motivate yourself to give a crap? It's like, what are they going to do? Fire me? Just pouring drinks on everybody the rest of the night?
That would speed up the process.
Right. Like, I'm just going to walk out the door now, man. What are you talking about? The other thing I've heard is that, they did mention in there that there are new owners, and the restaurant is going to be rebranded, apparently. So it sounds like the restaurant already sold, and the concept I did hear was Greek. So maybe a Greek restaurant going in there. But again, that's all, through the Redditor post. So, it's from, I think, one perspective of somebody who was there, and they're going by what little information they were told from, inside the situation.
Right.
So, yeah, that sucks.
Greek's good, though.
I mean, I like Greek food. There's several kind of Greek adjacent type places around here. Like Shawarma King's kind of Greek food, right? It's at least like Mediterranean. And then you have what's the Egyptian place right there around the corner? Why am I blanking on the name of that restaurant? Right around the corner there from where Jungle Bird is. They're fantastic. Like, their food is phenomenal. That's kind of Greek adjacent too, because there's a lot of hummus and things of that nature there. So, it sucks for the employees. We feel for them. But I mean, at least there's some hope that there's going to be something going in there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it makes sense that another restaurant's going to go in there because that takes a long time to set up all that equipment and get all the hookups and make sure you're good to go. So not surprising that it's going to be another restaurant, but hopefully we can figure out what the trash happened. So
you want to keep up with the details. We got the full Reddit post and what we know over there on the Rocker app now.
The Rocker Morning Show with Meatball.
My mind is aglow with whirling, transient nodes of thought, careening through a cosmic vapor of invention.
And Mark Frankhouse. Ditto. This is Kalamazoo's Rock Station, 107.7 RK.
Kalamazoo's Rock Station, 107.7 RKR. It is the Rocker Morning Show with Meatball.
And Mark Frankhouse.
So we've all been kind of distracted with the NCAA men's and women's basketball tournaments going on this past weekend. In fact, I think last night was the final night of the first round for the women's tournament. Caitlin Clark and Iowa definitely got through. But the thing is the state of Michigan was poorly underrepresented, I think, this year in basketball. Because, Michigan ended up not being so great. Michigan State only won one playoff game, which is just, that's not good.
Yeah, it was pretty sad.
However, there is a light at the end of the tunnel in terms of national collegiate tournaments in the state of Michigan. Over the weekend, the NCAA men's hockey tournament announced their bracket, and a quarter of the teams that made the tournament are from Michigan. Michigan, Michigan State, Michigan Tech, and Western Michigan.
That's wild.
4 teams out of the 16 in the tournament have made the tournament.
It's very easy to miss something like that, but it's crazy how, you look at the Michigan basketball and it was just garbage.
Yeah.
But then you look at Michigan hockey and it's really good. Michigan football, really good. So, yeah, it's you win some and you lose some, but I'm more of a fan of hockey than I am of basketball.
I still need to get out to Lawson Arena and see some Western hockey. I'm not going to get to this year, obviously. But I really need to get out there, and I've been told I just need to walk right into the Lawson Loonies and just have a good time. As long as I'm on board with them, they will welcome me with open arms at least.
This experience, seeing Western Michigan hockey for the first time, it surpassed everything that I had been told about.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, because I went there when my brothers came into town. We went to the Western hockey
that's
game.
right. Yeah.
And I had heard it was pretty wild, and I kind of pictured it in my mind what it would be like. And when I went there, I was like, man, the Loonies, man, they give the vibe of a professional hockey game.
Oh, cool.
And man, do they give every visiting team the business. I mean, this wasn't even a rival, and you would have thought that they were a rival the way they were treating these players. The players give it right back to them, man. It was intense. It was such an intense game.
Well, Western Michigan, this is now the third year in a row that the Broncos have made the NCAA tournament for hockey, which is incredible. I believe this is the 50th anniversary for Western hockey, I believe.
Jeez, that's wild.
The first time in history that this happened for the organization, which is incredible. The unfortunate thing is they're going to go against a buzzsaw, Michigan State. They're playing Michigan State the first round.
Right.
And I believe Michigan State is ranked 4th in the country right now.
Yeah,
they're very good. And weirdly enough, Western Michigan finished somewhere in the middle of their conference. But like 3 out of the 5 teams ahead of them in the conference all made the tournament as well. So it's a tough conference for them.
Michigan just setting the tone, man.
Yeah. Michigan, I don't remember who they play, but they play a little later on. And then poor Michigan Tech. They're going up against the number 1 ranked Boston College. I mean, you want to talk about a buzzsaw. We thank you for your sacrifice, Michigan Tech.
Poor guys.
But the games are going to be on ESPNU. I believe the Western game is on ESPNU 5 or 5:30 on Friday. So if you've got the ESPN package and you have ESPNU, you can watch Western go up against Michigan State. Should be a good game because I think they played during the season this year too. I think they typically do.
Gotcha.
And it was a close game for what I understand. So again, I'm speaking from like my very poor memory this morning. There's probably still a bit of Oberon splashing around in my head. So the electrolytes from the Pedialyte have not quite kicked in yet. But we've got the details on when you can catch those games. And man, congratulations to the state of Michigan for, really stepping it up in hockey when we fell short in basketball this year. Man, I just realized too, the Pistons suck too. And the Red Wings aren't too bad either. So I mean, the whole state of Michigan is just kind of mimicking itself on all platforms and forms.
Kalamazoo's Rock Station 107.7 RKR. It's a Rocker Morning Show with Mark Frankhouse.
And Meatball.
So, Meatball, are you one of these people who buys fresh fruits and vegetables and then lets them slowly decay?
So yes, unfortunately. I've developed a new plan where instead of putting them in the drawer of like the veggie drawer or whatever.
Yeah.
I've put them in the door of my fridge.
Good call.
So when I open the door, I see them and I'm like, oh, I need to eat that.
I've always said one of the funniest memes I've ever seen is it's a picture of Minnie Mouse and Mickey Mouse skipping hand in hand at Walt Disney World.
Yeah.
And on Minnie Mouse, it says me. And on Mickey Mouse, it says Taco Bell. And then there's Donald Duck looking absolutely defeated with his back turned to the camera. And it says, the fresh fruits and vegetables rotting in my refrigerator. I was like,
it's so painfully accurate.
It is so true. And I always forget about that. And you know what?
Yeah.
If I have one of those like old 1980s refrigerators with the crisper drawers you can't see in.
Oh, yeah.
But if the crisper drawer actually was like see-through and you could remember it, it would be helpful. But I found out there's a little trick that I'm going to try out. And if you guys want to check this out, it's up here on the Rocker app. By putting paper towels in your refrigerator, it could actually keep your vegetables last longer.
Okay.
It could actually extend their life.
Just anywhere in the fridge or
in the crisper drawer.
In the crisper drawer? Okay.
Yeah. So this is kind of an interesting take. If you open up the Rocker app, we've got this up here, because most fruits and vegetables, they release water over time.
Right.
The moisture has nowhere to go and it gets trapped in the crisper drawer, and that kind of, browns, salads and stuff like that. Yeah. But paper towels actually absorb that moisture. So they kind of slow down that process of the veggies going limp and nasty. So I'm going to give this a shot. I'm actually going to test this and see if this actually works.
So when you do that, then I assume the roll of paper towels then becomes quite moist and smells like fruits and vegetables.
Yeah. So you want to make sure that you're discarding once it gets actually.
Oh, so you don't use the roll of paper towels after it's been in the fridge for a while then?
No. No, that's gross.
Not necessarily,
you can just reuse them. Clean your windows.
It's just water, I have a couple mangoes in my fridge right now that I probably need to eat relatively quick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we got 2 experiments. One, I'm going to test the paper towels, keep the fresh fruits and veggies. 2, you're going to wash your mirrors and windows with your zucchini towel. Kalamazoo's Rock Station 107.7 RKR. It's a Rocker Morning Show with Mark Frankhouse.
And Meatball.
Have you ever seen The Who live before?
No, I never have.
Well,
I mean, I've seen like live performances like TV, YouTube, that kind of stuff, but yeah.
You may have maybe one last chance to see him. Pete Townsend was recently talking to New York Times, and he was talking about the Who's future, because these guys are getting, really old, obviously. And Pete Townsend's gone on, to say that, like, I don't want to be like one of these guys that dies on tour.
Yeah.
He's like, that's, he's like, I don't want to sing until I drop. He's like, that's not my philosophy on life. There's other things I want to do.
Yeah.
And I hope I live long enough to do them. But he was talking about the end of the Who, and I don't know. I would kind of argue that when Entwistle passed away, that for me was a big bummer. I'm bummed I didn't get to see him play, because when I started listening to more Who, I really realized he's one of the best bass players ever. He was so dynamic, and the way he played was not straight cut forward. He was so fun to listen to, and he still is. But when he passed away, Pete Townsend, Roger Daltrey, they were the surviving members of the Who, and they put on a phenomenal performance. I saw them, I think it was 2019 in Grand Rapids.
Okay.
And they played the first show of the tour with a full orchestra.
Ooh, that's cool.
It was unbelievable. It was so good. And I've seen them, I think I saw them 10 years prior at the Palace of Auburn Hills. Another great show. But he kind of said, Pete Townsend, man, he doesn't hold anything back. He's like, it feels to me like there's one thing the Who can do, and that's a final tour where we play every territory in the world and then crawl off to die.
Good old Pete Townsend.
And the funny thing is apparently he said, it's not even that, they do it for the nostalgia. Yeah. He straight up said, I don't get much of a buzz from performing with the Who. He's like, if I'm really honest, I've been touring for the money.
It's a job for him at this point. It's not like they're releasing new records or anything like that.
Yeah. So. And again, it's the two of them, and I get there, probably two of the most iconic members of the band.
Pete Townsend is 78 now. The rest of the band has to be in that same realm as well. There's so many rockers out there that are trying. The Rolling Stones, they're all pushing late 70s, early 80s now. Some of those bands are really starting to hang it up a lot later. And I think it's time.
Yeah, so I don't know. You guys want to check this out and take a little glimpse of this interview that he did with them, and take a look at the rankings of these albums, because they actually ranked the Who's albums from worst to best. And I'm curious what you guys think of the number one. I don't know. My personal favorite was a little bit too towards the top, but I don't know. See if you guys agree with this. You can read this interview with Pete Townsend, and I don't know. Hopefully we get to see them more than one more time, but I feel like it's coming to the end here.
They're all pretty old. Kalamazoo's Rock Station 107.7 RKR is the Rocker Morning Show with Meatball
and Mark Frankhouse.
All right, we're going to call our winner right now for Spring Break with the Stars and see if we can get a hold of them. It's ringing.
Hello?
Yeah, hi. Is this Brianna?
Yes.
Hi, Brianna. This is Mark and Meatball with the Rocker Morning Show. Do you remember entering into a contest recently on our app to spend spring break with the Stars?
Yeah.
Well, we've got some really good news for you, because you have won.
Yay! You are flying out to Napa Valley, California for the sold-out Bottle Rock Fest to see Stevie Nicks, The Offspring, Pearl Jam, so many other artists, 2-night hotel stay, $500 in cash, and it's all on us.
Are you serious?
Absolutely, we're serious.
Oh, my God. My mom's next to me freaking out, too.
Well, congrats to your mom, too.
Oh, my God.
Did we surprise you with this?
Very much. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my God. That's amazing. That's amazing. Oh, my God.
You seem like you're in a bit of shock right now. Are you good? Are you okay?
Amazing. Like, words can't even describe it. Honestly, I'm very excited.
Well, let it soak in. I'm sure the words are going to come to you soon enough. But congratulations. You're a Spring Break with the Stars winner, sponsored by Prairie Farms in Battle Creek, who does cry over spilled milk. And Brianna, we hope you have an absolutely amazing time this spring break. Do you know who you're going to be taking with you?
I don't know. Not my mom in the background, like, pointing at herself.
Well, I think that settles that. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
One last time, congratulations, Brianna. Enjoy the trip, and hopefully Mom enjoys the trip, too.
Yay!
Oh, my God. Thank you